Yes, I believe in this nation, and I know you do too. And good morning and welcome to the program, State of the Nation, our political program on Lagoon Radio. Of course, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and the official radio of the Anglican Communion Diocese of Lagos. We are transmitting live from the Archbishop's Palace right here in Marina, Lagos. And it's the 10th day of February 2022. It is 10 minutes gone past the hour of 10. Yes, we are, apologies for coming a bit late on the program. But today, yes, we'll be looking at the choice of leader in 2023. Yes, 2023 is around the corner, and the politics of 2023 has started. Yes, whether you like it or not, a lot of people have declared interest in who wants to govern this country. And we'll be looking at that and all of that and the rest of them. What kind of leadership, what kind of personality do we need? Who is that man we need as a leader in 2023? Yes, that's where we'll be focusing our energy on this morning. Of course, yes, my guest will join me soon on the show. But as it stands, remember you can download our app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Lagoon Radio Nigeria, and on Instagram, on Twitter, Lagoonradio.Ng. And remember, it is also conversational. You can go on our WhatsApp page, and you can also call in with 0818 4666. Yes, 08189 524666. That's our WhatsApp line, which also doubles as our phone-in number. Yes, we'll go on this break. When we come back, yes, when we come back, I will introduce my guest, and we will start the show right away.
It's Lagoon Radio. This is Lagoon Radio.
Yes, if you listen to the lyrics of that song by Timi Dakolo, yes, great nation. It has said it all we need in this nation. Remember, I told you that we will be focusing on the choice of leader in 2023. And this morning we have in the studio Oluwatobi Ayola. Oluwatobi, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. By the way, Happy New Year, everybody. It's the first time.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be back. I look forward to an exciting talk show.
Okay, like you out there listening to us, like I told you, it is conversation now. You can throw in your comments and your reactions. We want to know how you feel, and we want to hear from you. 0818 952 4666. That's the number to call in or send in your thoughts on WhatsApp. And also, we are live on Facebook, Lagoon Radio Nigeria, and on Twitter and Instagram, we are very, very active, Lagoon Radio NG. Yes, now, looking at this topic, but before we go into it, deep digging properly, how would you describe the present situation we are into now? If we are to look forward for the kind of leader we need in 2023, how would you describe the system we are into now?
Nigeria is currently in, as much as it might sound too harsh, but it is the reality. We are in a state of quagmire, and it's evident in the what has befallen us the past few days regarding the fuel scarcity issue. And I think it's a fallback to what we've been saying for the past over 6 years of this current administration, and it's sad. It's sad, really, because there was so much anticipation, there was so much hope when this current administration was coming in, but I think in all ramifications on security, economy, judicial justice, everything has been marred with one inconsistency or the other, and I think it's left us where we are. And more than ever, I think the anticipation, the interest as regards who would take the political mantle across all sectors of governance is more than ever high, and I think it tells us where we are, basically.
Okay, if you are to rate on a scale 100%, how would you rate the administration?
I think because the main job, basically, that is why the president and the governors are called the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and chief security officers. Because the first responsibility of government is security. I think I'll be biased on that and probably give the government maybe 35. Because security-wise, like the news daily they are not good. They are not good. Everybody is terrified, and of course we can see the direct implication of the economy or the ritual killings happening almost every day. Like there is so much poverty in the land that people are desperate, however they can, to get, like, we've seemingly lost our value, our sense of value, and we are just so desperate to try to get this better, standard of living for ourselves. And it shows the failure of governance that we've arrived at the moment. So I think, in fact, I think 35% is a very, very fair mark for a government that has failed in securing its people, and of course, economically. I think the 35% they get, I think, is basically on the milestone they've achieved as far as infrastructural development is concerned. I think they must be given that credit. Of course, the rail system is evident. There are the major works in terms of road networks and all. So I think they compared to the previous administrations, I think they hold a good scoring on that. And I think outside of that, I don't see anywhere this government has done well. You see the agricultural supposed impact that the government had, but now it's called under question, and there is allegations that the rice pyramid were solicited. Of course, rice to make up the pyramid were solicited from neighboring countries. Those are not good news for us. The government is living on so many questions as to every policy they make. Like, people don't trust whatever comes out of them because they give you reason not to trust them. So I think the 35% score is a fair one.
Okay, I will still come back to that rice pyramid. Now, having given your 35% pass mark, which invariably probably is a failure mark, is not a pass mark. Now, looking at 2023, a lot of people have declared interest. In fact, we have names, and we know that names will still come up. And looking at all these men and our current situation, from your own assertion, who do you think, when I say who, I mean the personality, who, the choice we are going to make in 2023, what choice? Who do you really think? Who is that person do you think we need in that 2023?
There is somebody that I follow quite closely, and he has never held back in declaring that Nigeria needs a savior. And like I said, considering the fact that we are in a state of quagmire, we definitely need someone that will salvage us. as soon as possible. So basically, the kind of leader we should be looking for is somebody that does way better. That does way better than the other, leaders we've had in terms of charisma, because the previous ones we've had shown very, very little charisma in terms of, moving people to actually act. We saw the Twitter issue that lasted more than 7 months, to be resolved, and it's a major issue because so many businesses, are reliant upon the media, the micro media handle, and we saw how it was handled. So many in so many aspects, the current and the past leaders have not shown enough in terms of, making things happen effectively. Like, we need a leader that will hit the ground running. As soon as he comes into the administration, he starts signing, things into law that that this person knows what he's here to do, not waiting for 3-4 years for people to actually feel your impact. That's the kind of leadership we need. We need a leader that can command the global, respect. And like you saw the way Nigerians are being treated, globally. We are not treated well, and it stems from the kind of personality we have as the president, and of course the rest of the leadership. So I think something that we need to take seriously, and evidently, of course, Buhari came on the benchmark of he is a former military, head, and being a former military head at the time we had serious, security crisis. You could come in to salvage the situation, but even on that, he has actually not done good enough. So I don't know, but moving from him, of course, considering the state of the economy, I think we need a very, very intelligent technocrat that can actually, manage people, that can basically coordinate how the administration is run. Because sometimes you see the signal you get from Buhari is like he's not really too involved in governance, and he's not. Of course, he himself said he's done he's done the best he can do, especially considering his age. And of course, aside the charisma, the intelligence, the intellectual capacity of the person, the age is also very, very important. I think it's been very unfair to have a leader that has to, go on medical trips on the national public fund. It's not fair, and without accountability, that is not good for us, especially for a developing. We are very, very much underdeveloped compared to the level we should be. So we need a leader that age-wise is energetic. Like, I don't understand why a president cannot move around within the country. Meet your people, get to know your people, interact with your people, show that you are one of us, because you are a uniting factor. That is what we've been lacking a great deal in this country for the past 6 years, and you can see the various agitations all around on marginalization and the like. So we need basically a leader that will transform all the cries, all the woes that we've been experiencing for the past 6 or 16 years or thereabouts. That will be an embodiment of the change that we actually desire. And I don't know if I because I have someone in mind that I feel, well, he's not perfect, but at least
still hold on to your thought. Okay. We'll still come to that. Remember, you're still listening to State of the National Political Program on Lagoon Radio. We'll be going on this short break, and we are discussing the choice of leader in 2023. Yes, Oluwatobi Phillips is still here, and when we come back, we'll be starting with the comment made by the former Emir of Kano, His Royal Majesty Sanusi. We'll start with that comment and look at in-depth of who we really need in 2023. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
Here we stand As a people with one song, with one voice, we're a nation undivided and poised. We will take a stand and build our land in faith to defend what is ours. Here we are as a people with one heart for one cause. We're determined to rebuild and restore. Where freedom reigns and truth prevails. Our land where there's hope for us all. Our land where there's hope for us all. We have, we'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll
This is Lagoon Radio.
Yes, it's still Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and the official radio of the Anglican Diocese of Lagos, transmitting live from the Archbishop's Palace right here in Marina, Lagos. Yes, we believe in Nigeria and the promises she holds. Yes, we hope to rebuild and restore our nation. That's the lyrics of that song from Timi Dakolo, Great Nation. Remember, you can listen to us via the link www.LagoonRadio.Ng and also download the app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. We are very, very active on social media. On Facebook, of course, we are live, Lagoon Radio Nigeria. Instagram and Twitter, Lagoon Radio NG. And to contribute on the program, 0818-952-4666. That's doubles also as our WhatsApp line. 0818-952-4666. Okay, Oluwatobi, let me come back to you. The Emir of Kano, the former Emir of Kano, His Excellency, or His Royal Majesty, Sanusi, he mentioned something in 2015. In 2015, he said we are in a hole that we need to be rescued. Listening to him last week, he said that our situation in this country now needs someone who will be bold to make decisions and stand by it. And the citizens should also brace up for whatever decisions that will be taken. Yes, you have said all this. And looking at, and you mentioned a bit of it, and looking at the statement of Sanusi, in 2015, he said we are in a hole. And I was listening to someone this morning. He said this morning that we are in deep well. That regarding that statement Sanusi made in 2015, that we are in a hole. But the person told me this morning that we are in a deep well. So when we talk about the president, you mentioned something like a technocrat. Some people have said we need an economist. Some said we need an administrator. Some said we need a technocrat. Now, in all this, who do you think we really need? And considering the situation we are into.
Basically, we were in a hole in 2015, and we've been dug deeper inside that hole. Basically, that's what we have. I have a pain, to be honest, and the pain is that we are not realistic as a people. We are not realistic. I ask myself, because we have the minds that can do things. We have the minds, but everybody is seemingly after his own interests. I ask myself the question: the likes of Mohalu and other younger technocrats that are out there, why can't they join the APC or the PDP and actually give the people that are there a run for their money? Like, if we can have a debate among among them, then we can see really, because I've always had my what's it called? My preference for debates, but it was made more clear that we need it more than ever. When I saw, for the last election, 2015 and 20, why never debated? But when I saw his debate prior to the 2015 debate, I was shocked, because I saw Buhari in person. I saw him as he is. And I asked myself, why don't we actually have debate? And we are not talking about presidential debate. We are talking about even from being a candidate that's going into the primaries. From like the challenge we've had in our politics is the fact that the candidates we have from the parties are not good enough eventually, because in most cases they are out of consensus. But when which is of course what they are, the two parties are even driving towards now, and they are denying us the people the best, because if they can have a debate, and that is why of course initially the parliament passed the bill to have direct primaries, so that people can actually be fully involved, and it will drive effective participation among the people, which is what we need. But the easiest way for us to decide is to see these people converse. There's a reason why we can talk. When you converse, you declare your personality, you sell yourself to the people. And that is actually the problem we've been having in Nigeria. I like the likes of Mogalu and co, but as long as they stay at the periphery of politics, we'll never really be able to get the kind of technocrats we actually expect or desire, because most of them are not in the right parties. But if these guys can actually, reorganize themselves and actually face the reality. Many people talk about APC coming to power. APC came to power on not just people coming together, but the aggrieved members, those that were very, very powerful in the PDP then, left PDP for APC. And it gave, APC way better ground than the PDP even thought they could have, going into the election. So it weakened the PDP. And
when you talk about the right party, mentioning the right party, is it all about party now?
Well, the current system that we have, I don't know the full details of the Electoral Act, but the current system we have now is a party politics system. And right now we have only you can vie for election locally in a different party and aspire to win. But anything national, anything with the presidency, you cannot go into a minor political party and expect to have a chance. You don't stand a chance. There's no gainsaying about it. And that is why I would be expecting the likes of Mogalu and co, who would know that they're actually sound, to go into either APC or PDP and prove themselves. Because that is the only way we get to set ourselves on the path to actually realizing the kind of political system and structure we desire. Until they do that, we are just wasting our time.
Okay, talking about party, a man who was a former PDP member, Professor Pat Utomi, last week.
I learned, I'm even confused now, because someone also said he's APC member.
No, Pat Utomi, he was of the PDP before the whole course happened. Now, we have people like Pat Utomi, the former INEC chairman, Professor Jiga, the former education minister, Obieze Kwesili, and a whole lot of them. Now, listening to Pat Utomi, he said that PDP and APC has failed, and they are trying to come up with a third force. Now, when you talk about political party and the kind of system we play, does it mean that Nigerians are so Nigerians are so addicted to these two parties? And part to Tommy, them coming up with a third force. And if you hear the names, in fact, it is a name of political minded fellows in Nigeria, the likes of Pat Utomi, the former INEC chairman, who we have seen is like he has interest in the 2023 presidential elections. Now, and you mentioned something about the APC coming together to form a force to dispose PDP. Now, when you talk about Moralo and the rest not being in the right party, are you thinking that this third force trying to emerge can give PDP and APC a run for their money?
No chance. I repeat, they stand no chance because they are not serious. When you are talking about the third force, like I said, APC was able to wrestle power from PDP, not just because there was a coalition of parties, but key members of PDP. APC, Atiku was a PDP member. He left for APC. Saraki was a PDP member. Those are massive elements especially in the North Central. They have massive following. As intelligent as someone like Pat Utomi is, how much following does he have? Even Mohalu, as intelligent as he is, how much following do they have? Politics is not something you talk about just having intellect. You have to understand how the ground rule works, and that is the major issue these technocrats don't really grapple with. If they wanted to form a coalition, I believe the coalition should have been known already, not few months to the election, because the APC and PDP have physical structure in every state of the country. When do these parties want to start building the structure? How do they want to meet? We are not talking about Lagos. We are talking about Nigeria. There are some places that are so interior, and they still command good in fact, even more than the cities, because those ones take the election more serious. So, if you take this to heart and you're actually going to play the politics the way it should be done, the best thing for them to do now is to join APC, because the problem we've been having, like I said earlier, we've not had the right kind of. Like the last election, I voted Showore because even though I knew he wasn't going to, get anything, but I voted him because at that time he presented what I at least desired of the kind of president I wanted. Though I knew he didn't have a chance, but we are talking about actually having serious presence in APC. I don't know if you follow the American election, the last election. Before the election, right in the primaries, I saw debates among Ben Carson and more than 7 candidates. Speaking to issues, even things that the electorates are not aware of, they will open it up, bringing serious conversation to the table. But the kind of way we've allowed APC and PDP to sort of guide our politics is the wrong way. And that is why I'm hoping that the likes of Mogalu, Pat Utomi, and everybody knows that these guys are actually intelligent and they know what they are doing. We'll show that they even know what they are doing more by joining one of these. There's a man, I can't remember his name. It's from a part of the north. He said he has always been in the periphery of administration, especially when it comes to policy making. But when he was going to announce, he announced within the PDP. Those are the kind of people we need. You understand? Because APC and PDP already have this solid structure to work on. You see, what's it called? There is this politician in Lagos. He's nicknamed Jando. He's a member of APC.
Lagos for
but
Lagos.
being aggrieved, go to create his own party? No, he joined PDP because he understands how the politics work. You don't leave. You don't say you want to compete or contest for something serious and want to go on your own. No, you need a platform. You need real organic allies that can actually give you the ground that you need. And aside the fact that these parties already have the structure, individually, how much of popularity do they command? Let's put someone like Utomi and Tinubu side by side. Ordinarily, put the parties away. What chance does Utomi stand against Tinubu politically? In popularity alone, not even bringing the party inside. You understand? But everybody knows that in terms of intellectual capacity, Utomi is probably better. I'm not saying he's better, but he's probably better. But he does not stand any chance because he's not popular. And that's why you need the right platform to run on. And see, until we can actually tackle that directly, we are not getting anywhere with that policy.
Okay, talking about tackling it directly, and this is where the citizens fall. We talked about, yes, even on the streets, a lot of people will tell you that PDP and APC has failed. And still, no third force coming up, no other political party. Like, if we are to conduct national elections now, I don't know how many parties that can produce another senator. Now, what is the role of the citizens on this? Is it that the citizens are blindfolded, or that we still want to foolishly follow those we still accuse of not performing?
It's not the citizens' fault, to be honest. Okay. Because in fact, the citizens are even too impoverished to be interested in coming together, except they have the resources. And the onus fall on the elite, the political elite. And I will still make a reference to another intelligent person. I'm not a fan of him, but I respect him so much. Dele Momodu of Ovation. He already declared interest, and he's going to be running on that PDP platform. Those are the people that understand. They've learned it. He even said it when he was brought to the media house to be interviewed. He said that he had learned his lesson, that even though he felt he had a better chance, but the party he ran with before gave him no chance because they are not a national party. And having learned his lesson, he's going to put his cloak in the contest to vie for the office through the PDP. That is the realistic part to actually set yourself. And the current elite have that responsibility. The leadership, there's a reason why you are a leader. You set the pace. And that is what people are actually looking. I would have actually loved to see a third force, in all honesty, because we need it. We need more options than the APC and PDP that we have currently. But realistically, if we were going to have a third force, they should have started immediately after the 2019 election. And they're actually building physical structures and also meeting people, physically, promoting their ideology. That is how to run things. Not that you, a few months to the election, you are coming up and you want to, who knows you? Like, one of the most difficult, it's easy to run politics on Twitter and Facebook, and because, of course, it's the educated people that are mostly on those platforms. But the real people that actually take politics seriously are in the grassroots. And it's not just a day thing or a few months thing to actually reach out to those people. In most cases, you even need to do major community development service to reach out to them, to show that, yes, you have their interest, that those things take time and money. And the APC and the PDP are already giving themselves those platforms. So it's either you align with them and push your interests ahead, or you take your time to strategize. And that's why I said I was surprised that the NSAS movement didn't turn into a party movement, because that would have been a very, very good platform to start. But since they never did, immediately after that, I had concluded that the only option to actually have a realistic, a solid election that will set the pace for the change we actually desire in Africa. Because if Africa is going to work, Nigeria must work. Because Nigeria is like the mother to to the rest of Africa. And to set ourselves on that path, the political elite must shelve their interests. They must shelve their personal agenda and put the people first, because the common people are looking to them for leadership. They should join either APC or PDP and give us. I want to see a build up to election that people, even at the primary level, you're already seeing the president you want. That's the kind of conversation we need.
Okay, you're still listening on to State of the Nation on Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio. I will go on this final break. When we come back, we'll take a deep look at some of the things we expect the next leader of the country to do. We will be right back after this break. Keep listening to us. It's still State of the Nation.
This is Lagoon Radio.
Coming to rebuild and restore. Where freedom reigns and truth prevails. Our land where there's hope for us all. Our land where there's hope for us all. We'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun. We're a great nation. Though we are many people, different tribes, different tongues, we're united in our strength and resolve to uphold the
This is Lagoon Radio.
Yes, it's still Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria. Yes, Oluwatobi Phillips is still here. And we are looking at the choice of leader in 2023 for Nigeria. Remember, it's still conversation now. 0818-952-4666. That's the number to call. And follow us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are live, Lagoon Radio Nigeria. Twitter and Instagram, Lagoonradio.Ng. Yes, you mentioned something about rice pyramids before. And a lot of people have said that, okay, I saw clips of video where the bags of rice are being transported to various states. Now, but a lot of people have criticized that move and say, despite the rice pyramid, that the rice is still at a high price in Nigeria. And when we talk about the next leader we need, agriculture should be President Buhari has always prioritized agriculture than any other thing. Now, looking at that price pyramids and the current situation we are having now, the petrol scarcity and the rest of them, which will also link to fuel subsidy, which this government has invariably postponed to the next government.
Postponing the evil days.
Yes. So these are the problems the next government will inherit. One, the fuel subsidy. Two, the rice pyramid, which this government has shown us that, yes, we can produce rice and hunger will reduce. So let's take it bit by bit. This fuel subsidy and rice production in Nigeria. Those are one of the key things the next government, the next leader in Nigeria is going to face. And when we talk about the choice of leader, now this is where it comes in. When you mentioned the technocrat, and you also said that you have a name already that you will like. So, what is your thoughts on this?
Well, we need the governance that will stop a show business, because the current governance is about show off. Like, as much as one would want to commend the Rice Pyramid Initiative, you yourself has mentioned that people are not seeing the direct implication on the economy. Like, the prices of rice is still high. So we need a government that would be more interested in results than making people see just a superficial evidence of what we actually need. We don't need that. We need to move away from that. And I think the kind of governance we need going forward is a governance that will focus on his own duties, focus on his own role, and leave the private sector to run things in the economy. I don't understand why it should be the government, converging rice to show that we have rice in the country. Let the private sector run the whole thing. And the rice are not even processed yet. Like, why are you showing the world we have rice that are not processed? What are the infrastructures already provided the private players to actually warehouse them appropriately and process, and then of course move them across the country, even beyond, if we have surplus. That's the kind of leadership we need. A leadership that will play his own role. Our government is too engaged in the almost in the whole system, in the whole thing. We are running agriculture directly, we are running security directly, we are running petroleum directly, we are running almost everything. The government is divest this thing, devolutionize them, deregulate them, let the private sector run everything, but just provide the right playing ground. We've been going back and forth on the whole thing, and even when the Act supposedly is passed, they still cannot implement it, and they are postponing it. No, we need a government that can actually stand its ground. Let the private sector run the whole thing, and then you play your part in governance. And basically, that is why we are stagnated, because the government it wants to play the role of the buyer and the seller at the same time. When you focus on your own role as governance, as the watchdog of the economy, then the private sector will play its role, and then you can regulate things. And that is where people will actually feel the impact of governance.
And talking about regulation, and also something came to my mind. Also, in a discussion this morning, someone said that the next government is going to inherit huge debts, which we have seen. And when we talk about the kind of person, the choice of the leader in 2023, the leader that will not go further to borrow, but find a way to manage the resources. Now, looking at the huge debts we have, and the government is still planning to borrow more. So, what kind of person do we need in that 2023?
And I think on that borrowing, I wish you could have a new administration coming that will be willing to probe this government spending. Because as much as we'll commend the work the government is doing on infrastructure, there's no accountability at all. And the sum of money that have been here marked for this project are ridiculous. They are atrocious, honestly. And it's if they are atrocious but they are still accountable, well, we can give them leeway. But there is no accountability at all. And I think probably because I just heard, I think 2 days ago or yesterday, that China is no longer ready to give us loans. Probably because they are not seeing the purpose of the loan is not being followed up with. And of course, if you don't follow up the loan as you are giving, that means you may not be able to repay. And that is another dilemma that we're having are going to be having in years coming years. So we need a government that will actually be accountable, because borrowing is necessary to build infrastructure, to build the economy. Of course, almost every business needs to borrow to leverage itself. But I love what Peter Obi say, and he consistently say it. What is the essence of your borrowing? That there is no direct impact on your citizens. How many of your citizens are directly employed from this infrastructure development that is going on? How many of your citizens are directly employed, are directly, getting their standard of living improved? Because at the end of the day, these same citizens are the ones that will pay back for you to be able to pay to pay the loan back. So the problem we are having in the country is so much is going on in terms of spending, but the real people that will help the government to meet its payment targets are not affected in any way. And so everybody is confused. Like, where is this money actually going? And that is why we need a leader that will be account. I think if we can get, and that is why I still believe having a good debate among the candidates is going to help us a lot.
Even before the primaries.
At the very primary level, that's where we need to start hearing them, listening to them, because they will dig up things that we had never. Like I said, when I saw the debate between Buhari and the other candidates at the time, I was shocked with what I was, because I didn't even know the level. I didn't understand the level at which the farmer sellers crisis was playing out then. But when I listened to the candidates in the engage themselves, I was so happy, seeing the revelations, and that is why we need this. We need to actually see them engaging themselves right from the primary level, or to the highest level, and then we can easily decide on the kind of and you can imagine what's it called in the debates. There's an underlying question as to maybe the integrity or personality of somebody that you don't know about before. And right there and then you will be able to judge the accountability record of that person. You understand? And so many other issues. And that is why I am clamoring that these are the kind of this is the major question that citizens should be raising. That we want debate from the primary level, and then we can know where we are going from there.
Okay, let's get your closing thoughts on the program, because we are virtually out of time on the program. They said when you are having fun, the time goes faster.
Very much.
So let's get your closing thoughts before we round up the program. Yes, your closing thoughts on the choice of the you had one name in mind. If you are to project a name to Nigerians, who would you project?
I think I'll hold that back to myself, but my message, my challenge to Nigerians is to actually demand that the candidates be responsible and realistic, and actually do the needful.
Okay. Yes, we hope that the candidates will do the needful. Yeah, and that's the size of the package this morning on State of the National Political Program. Thank you, Olumakaiye, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
We hope to see you when next we call on you.
Of course, it's always a pleasure.
Okay, and the program comes back on Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., where we'll bring you another bumper package, another good edition. But for now, from me, Anosike Chimezie, thank you for listening on the program, and thank you for tuning in for those who followed us online and on social media. And also thank you to our producer, Sandra, for pressing the right buttons. Till Thursday when we meet again. Goodbye, and do have a lovely day.
This is Lagoon Radio.